Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are so excited that you are here tonight joining us. We have such a special testimony for you tonight. I'm Nikki McCutchen. I will be your host. Just know that whoever invited you to the call tonight must really care about you to want you to know about this technology. And tonight, our call will be for 30 minutes. And I'm just going to get started with our medical disclaimer. All LifeWay products are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any dis-ease in the body. If you are pregnant or nursing, please check with your preferred healthcare practitioner first, as well as if you're on any types of medication. So with that, I am super excited to just introduce to you Rod and Cathy. And I just have to tell you, like, one of the reasons I love doing what we get to do in this business is all of the people that you meet. So I got to meet them at a recent business event, and truly, Cathy is just one of those ladies that for me was just that instant connection, just a kindred spirit, and you just knew, that heart connection that you have with someone. She's just such a dear, dear woman, and I'm just so blessed to have had the chance to meet her, and now I get to share her and her husband with all of you tonight, and so I'm so excited to just get to let them share their testimony. So we'll do that. And then I will come on just explaining the technology. So if you're new to this and you're looking for, to know how the technology works, I will go over that real quick. But with that, Rod and Cathy, if you guys will just come on and just share with us how you got introduced to the technology, how long you've been using it, and why you started using it, along with what you've noticed since you started. So take it away.
Absolutely, Nikki. And honestly, the honor is all ours. It was such a pleasure to meet you when we went to Dallas. You were a blessing. We just migrated to you, and it was wonderful to get to meet you. So thank you so much for having us on here.
Yes, absolutely. I feel the same way. So, yes.
Wonderful. So again, we are Rod and Cathy Kirkpatrick. We've been using the technology now. It's been 25 months, so a little over 2 years. I will just kind of a backstory here. Previous or prior to using the patches or the technology, um, I developed COVID twice, once in 2020 and then again in the summer of 2022. And that started my spiral of, some health issues. Previously, I had, tried to be as healthy as I could, always looking for natural health alternatives versus any type of prescriptions. That's kind of been my life story. I lost my parents at a very young age. They were 53 and 54 years old. So it was my journey to live longer than my parents did, and be there for our three adult young men that we have. So kind of back, go back a little bit. So summer of 2022, I started developing, after the second bout of COVID, I started developing some issues in the bottom of my feet. I felt like I was walking on rocks. It started becoming a little bit more debilitating as the year went on. And thankfully, my aunt, Olga, she introduced me to the technology in May of 2023, and it was the biggest blessing. She sent us a text message to all of our family and said, I just want to share with each of you what I have come across. It's really helping me. She had over 6 autoimmune diseases, and it was really helping her. So absolutely, I looked into the technology, spent 48 hours, researching David Schmidt and anything I could find in those 48 hours, and called her up and said, I am ordering. I absolutely understand this. I understood how it was working in the body. So I was 100% in. I think Rod may have been a little bit more skeptical, but the loving, supporting husband that he is, he said, okay, I'm with you. Go ahead. So we ordered, and I was one of the really lucky ones. On the second day, the rocks that I felt like I'd been walking on for the past year, completely gone. And
Mm,
I
praise the
was,
Lord.
Lord, I was
Mhm.
shocked. And I was like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And it has never returned. It's now been 2 years. I've never had that pain again. In the first month, I noticed more energy, and that was wonderful. Uh, because I felt like I was really getting depleted with my energy over, the past few years. Mental clarity, just within the first month, I had that mental clarity. Brain fog just lifted for me. It was fantastic. And I just felt more balanced. It was really difficult to try to explain to people. I just felt more balanced and just had more of a positive outlook. I felt like I've always tried to have a positive outlook, but this was just different. It felt like it was coming from within. It was amazing. And then in the second month, which I was okay with just what I had already, received from the patches. But in the second month, I had started developing where I was clenching my teeth, and I had been dealing with that for a few months. All of a sudden, I stopped clenching my teeth, and my ear pain and jaw pain disappeared. And I
Wow.
could not believe that. But it had gotten to the point where I was always massaging, my right jaw. It just hurt so bad.
Mm.
That went away and has not returned, thankfully. I had three ACL surgeries in the past. I was a gymnast growing up, and so I've had a lot of wear and tear on my body, and so that's gone, and it's just
Wow.
fantastic.
Yes.
I
Praise the
can,
Lord.
yes, yes, Nikki. I can now, work out and aggressively if I want to. I don't feel like I have the concerns of being sore. Um, it's been fantastic. I'm loving these patches. And I
Mhm.
know I'm rambling, but I just have a whole list of things that it has
No,
just
that's great.
fun for me. Um, Also, in the second month, I noticed my turkey neck that I was developing started just reducing, and I would look in the mirror and go, oh, I think it looks better, Rod."
Yes.
It was
Yes. I can so
wonderful.
relate to that. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
And then in the fourth month, I really noticed new hair growth. I lost a lot of hair during COVID years, and the hair just started growing back, especially around my crown and on the top. So the thinningness had depleted, thankfully, and my hair just continued to get a little bit fuller and thicker. Thank goodness. And then this was kind of weird. Around the 1 year mark, I've had an allergy to walnuts, and all of a sudden it just started dissipating. I can eat walnuts now without my tongue, swelling and feeling that itchy feeling that I used to get. So that was a new one for me and
Yeah.
was praising God. Yes,
Yes. Absolutely. That's amazing.
because I love walnuts.
Yes. And they're so good
um,
for you, unless you have an
yes.
allergy.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's right, Nikki. That's exactly right. Exactly. And then at 14 months, I noticed we were working out and I noticed I was able to bend past the 90 degrees, which I had been very limited in being able to go further than 90 degrees because of my ACL surgeries. And so now I'm able to go further down, which is just miraculous for those that
Yeah.
struggle with being able to bend down. It really is just I don't know. It's bothersome. So
Yeah.
it's been fantastic. Scars are now reducing. I've had, my knee scars, my cesarean scar from having my twins is about 95% gone, which is just
Wow. Yeah.
amazing.
Crazy.
Yes, it really is. Improved skin appearance and tightening, just feeling healthier and stronger. And this one this was my last one that I've really noticed, but around the 18 month mark, and this is why we continue to tell people stick with this. The longer you're on these patches, the more blessings you are going to receive. It really is true. Around 18 months, obviously you can, I have large eyes. They run in my family. We just all have large eyes. But had never been diagnosed with any, issues with thyroid or anything like that. But I had noticed they felt like they were protruding out, a bit more. Around the 18-month mark, all of a sudden, I started noticing they were sitting back into my eye sockets more. It's the
Wow.
I've never expected that.
Yeah.
And, my family, they look and they're like, oh, It really is. They really have set back into your eye socket. So I'm just blown away with this technology. And I mean, I could go on and on and on and on forever, but I'm going to let Rod kind of give his testimony and
Yes.
things that he has found that he's noticed.
Yeah, I think,
Awesome.
thanks again for having us on, Nikki. We appreciate it. I think one of the first things I noticed was the energy as well. I think that most people do. And then with the sleep, I've always been a good sleeper, but apparently I was a good snorer as well. And thank goodness for me, in about the second to third month, I miraculously stopped snoring. Thank goodness, because
Praise
I
the
was,
Lord.
thank the Lord, because
Kathy, praise the
I
Lord.
know she was already preparing the eviction notice. I was going to get evicted to another room, I think. So she already had that prepared, and thank goodness I get to stay in the room with my beautiful wife. So, and one thing was, I had never really thought that this was going to happen, but my left shoulder, whenever I would work out, doing overhead presses and stuff, it would pop out, and I could never really work out and really go after it. And after about 6 months, I was working out and I went to do it, and I kind of was doing my, where I was going to lean in, thinking it was going to pop out, and it hasn't popped out anymore. So, working out,
Wow.
doing all that stuff, my shoulders aren't popping out. And when I turned 40, I slipped a disc in my back, and I'm 55. We're both 55 right now. And when I turned 40, I slipped a disc in my back, and it had been over the last 15 years. I would be out a couple of times out back in the backyard pulling weeds, and I'd have to text Cathy, come get me, come help me. I'd just have to stretch out in the dirt and wait for her to come,
Oh,
help me get up and
yes.
stuff. And it would take a couple of days to recover from that. You're sore and you can't pull your pants. It's just hard to do anything. And
Yes.
knock on wood, in the 2 years of being on the patches, I have had one bout for about a half a day, and it's because I overdid it. I was lifting too much, but thank goodness I don't have the back pain. Definitely feel stronger working out. The recovery from working out. So yeah, and my gray hair is starting to turn. My hair's getting darker, which is great. And so we love the patches. We're seeing life-changing results on ourselves, and we'll be, as we say, you're going to bury us with a patch on, and we're seeing life-changing results from family and everyone else. And again, we love the patches, great technology, and looking forward to all the new technology that's coming out as well. So thanks
Yes,
again, Nikki. We really
absolutely.
appreciate it.
Oh, one other thing that I did want to mention, Nikki, because this has been we've been around a lot of people, as we all are. We will get into big gatherings, and for the past 2 years since we've been on the patches, one thing that we have really noticed is we can have people around us that are sick and not feeling well, and we have not gotten sick. Knock on wood, in a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite 2 years that we've been on the patches, but it's been at least 18 months that we
Mhm.
just really, we may feel a little, maybe a little allergy or something, but within a day, we're back to normal again. And that was not happening prior. I mean,
Mhm.
I could have bronchitis or, anything for days. And that just has really changed with this technology. These patches are just, they're amazing.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I mean, I love everything you said, but I think the thing that I love the most is the fact of you all understand and you're conveying the importance of staying on this long term, and how when we are optimizing our abilities, regenerative cells, when we optimize those, things just keep happening. It begins to, we have a compounding effect in our bodies that keeps, we go backwards, we reverse age. And so I love that, that you all are truly seeing that, because sometimes, it can take a while to see some of those compounding effects, or you may not even notice them unless you have some type of, test result, to even show that. But you guys have really been able to pay attention, and and just to really notice things. So which is really and truly, I'm sure what you guys see too, is that it's so true, right? There's constant change, there's constant benefit, there is no negative, downside to this. It is only supporting the body's ability to optimize. And so I love that you shared that. And oh my gosh, the list, right? Like when you stay on them long, the list is so long. and from having, pain in your feet and having that go instantly away, which, like you said, we don't know that that's going to happen for everybody. And it may not happen for a lot of people, but sometimes it does. And so you got to notice that right away. And like you said, I was the same way. If in the first month, if I could just have my energy and my brain fog have lifted, like what you were talking about, I had all that too. If those were the only two things I would have gotten, I would have been like sold. Like I would never stop. I would be, like you said, they're going to find a patch on me when I'm, in my grave. So I love that so much. Yes. Yeah. I will never stop just for those two things. But the long-term effects are just truly, truly amazing. So from the sleep and like the snoring, like that too, like that's such a thing. How many couples do we talk to where somebody's leaving the bedroom because there is no possible way the other person is not going to get any sleep. And so that's just even a relationship saver. Like it's giving vitality of life back to your life. It's like, that's not something people can put a price tag on, so that's just so valuable. And then the other thing, like, because snoring is such it's almost a given. People just think this is just a normal thing, a normal part of life, and people do it. When actually the truth is there is a health concern there that's related to the snoring. And so to have whatever all the connections are to actually reverse to where the snoring goes away, especially when you understand there really actually are health concerns with that, and you've just gotten reversal of that. That's truly amazing. When people, it's just so natural and normal for people just to chalk it up as this is just normal. Somebody always snores, so the same has happened, for my husband as well. So I can totally relate to that. Pastor Ed and Vicki, they can relate to that. So many of us have had so many of those same things that we're so thankful for. May not happen for everybody, but those are very common things: energy, sleep, pain going away, dysfunction in multiple areas. So let me just tell everyone real quickly, because if this is the first time you've been on the call, you're thinking, what are they talking about and how does this work? So we are talking about just this tiny little patch here. So we are recognized by the FDA as a compliant general wellness product. This is a class 1 medical device. It's completely non-transdermal. So there is nothing that transfers from this patch into your body. So it's completely sealed with medical grade plastic on both sides. It has hypoallergenic adhesive. In the center of that patch is organic amino acids, salts, and sugars. It has a 96% effectiveness rate. So what is so cool for the other 4% of you that it is not effective on, we now have this amazing product called Cellergize, which helps to support your natural production of stem cells in your body, along with give you the amino acids and electrolytes that you need just naturally for your body, but also to help optimize the patches. And then it balances copper and zinc. So sometimes that magnesium, potassium, and copper are reasons that the patches don't always work for people, or like alanine as well, if you're vegetarian. But now that doesn't have to be the case, because you could add this to what you're doing with the patches. You don't have to have it, but if you're in that 4%, it's a fantastic add to add that in there. This technology is extremely affordable. The only competition we even have is a stem cell injection. And so you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars to hopefully do whatever it is you want it to do. Whereas this is, like I said, 96% effective, and it's always working whether you feel it or not. And that can be shown in your test results, in going to see someone, and be shown even immediately in test results. So even in blood work, elevation of GHK copper peptide can be shown within 24 hours. It's patented technology. So over 200 patents, over 90 clinical studies. You can go and see all of those on patchtheway.com. We have a fantastic site where you can look at all of that and see all of that information. It's linked there. There's literally no other product in the world that does what X39 does. So how how, Nikki, is all of this working? So it's working through a process called photobiomodulation, which is just a big word for light making change in the body. You all actually already understand what this is because every time you step out into the sun and the sun hits your skin and your eyes, it tells your body to make vitamin D. And then your body causes that vitamin D to go and do what it was already designed to do in the body. This patch works exactly that same way, only you are the heat source. You are the light source. So you don't need the sun. We emit a low-grade infrared light. How do we know this? So if you are watching a movie and you're seeing someone look through night vision goggles and they're talking about seeing a heat signature, that signature is full of all different kinds of colors, and that's scientifically that low-grade infrared light that we emit everywhere on our body. So you can actually wear this patch anywhere you want to on the body. And what happens is that it reflects like a mirror back into the body at a very specific frequency, turning on GHK copper peptide. This peptide was found over 50 years ago. There's 50 years of research on it. You can Google it. You can look on PubMed. You're going to find tons of information on what it does. I'm just going to quickly mention 5 major body systems that it benefits. So I already talked about stem cells, which means anything can happen. So Rod and Cathy's list of things that they're talking about, the reason that's happening is because their stem cells are now optimizing. They're regenerating. The body is deciding to do what it was already designed to do by God, which we were designed to heal. That's how God designed us. So if we utilize his system and what he's put in our body, and we turn that back on, supporting his design, then these are the kind of results like Rod and Cathy talked about that people will get, which is just truly amazing. So one of those novel concepts, right? Like, support what the Lord gave you and watch what he will do. It's truly amazing. I absolutely love it. So stem cells, cardiovascular system, support your heart, support the blood vessels, the lining of your blood vessels. So anything going on with your cardiovascular system can be supported. Your brain, you heard us talk about several, things going on with our brains that Cathy and I have both noticed and had help with. So anxiety and depression even can lift. That brain fog leaves. You have clarity of thinking. You just have a general sense of well-being that's truly just fantastic. Collagen. So your collagen is what's not just hair, skin, and nails, but Cathy was talking about the turkey neck. I actually have a picture of people just taking pictures of me from the side before, like when I had been on the patches for a little while, and then after I'd been on for a while, and I was like, oh, thank you so much, because that was all tightening. I'm just like, fantastic. You kind of get scared when you see a picture from the side of your face and you think, oh no. And then when that starts to go away, it's truly phenomenal. We are all women. We're all very happy when we see that tighten back up. It makes us very happy. So collagen, not just hair, skin, and nails, but the ligaments, the tendons, the lining of your organs. That's what's so amazing. And so why we start to get long-term effects as well is that those stem cells are working, but the collagen also kicks in at about 3 months. And so that's also a long-term effect. The collagen starts to reduce at about the same rate that your stem cells begin to no longer be optimized. So by the time we're 30, half of our stem cells are no longer optimally working. By the time we're 60, we only have about 10% that are any longer optimized in our body. Collagen is the same way. So you put those 2 things back together in combination because of what GHK copper peptide does in the body, and you elevate all those things, and it's why you see such a wide range of support that people will get in their bodies. So, and then the immune system. So you heard Cathy and Rod talk about that. Everyone is looking for a way to support their immune system, for them to handle the toxins that we're exposed to, and for their bodies just to be able to, be in any type of environment and handle that well and react well, to not be sick as long or to not get sick at all. But just your body doing what it was designed to do and being supported the way that God designed it. So those 5 things are a very short list. There's literally over like 80 different things that get supported in the body by optimizing GHK copper peptide. So I always tell people you want to wear this for 6 to 12 months at minimum. If you have a list of things, aches, pains, illness, disease, whatever it is, you really need to give it 6 to 12 months because it took you a long time for your body to get in whatever state it's in, whatever issues it's having. It's taken a long time to get there. So to ask to be on it for 6 to 12 months is a very short amount of time for your body to do what it was designed to do naturally anyway. And so really giving it that support. But like you heard Rod and Cathy talk about, that we're talking about compounding effect of your health. So the longer you utilize it, the longer you stay on it, more and more things just begin to regenerate and get helped. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Like noticing the eyes, your eyes sit back farther in your head. Like that's true. That is what I have not heard. And that is absolutely fantastic because then even like if we're thinking about it, I mean, I'm just thinking rationally. I have no reason to say this otherwise, but when you're thinking about giving the collagen the time that it needs, so all that tightening effect to be able to hold things in the right place. So collagen is literally the glue that holds our bodies together. So when things are falling out or falling apart, it's the collagen is my guess that would, hold them back in there properly. So having that optimized to tighten for the elastin to start working better, would be a logical thing for me to say as to why maybe that would happen with the eyes. I have no idea, but that's the coolest thing, right? When all these things are working together, truly anything is possible in your body. So don't stop patching before you get your miracle, and then just continue to watch things happen in your body that you will be so thankful for because it just keeps getting better and better. And so hydration, I always want to mention hydration, which is why this product is also fantastic that we've come out with because it helps to support your electrolyte balance. If you're not already on some type of a high quality electrolyte, this is fantastic for that. So definitely getting good quality water, filtered water, which yes, we have a fantastic technology that will be coming out that we are all chomping at the bit to get in our homes as fast as possible. And then like Rod mentioned, we have technology lined out for the next 7 years that will continue to lead the industry in the regenerative health, as well as just allow us to be free in the way that we live in our homes and in our lives. And so it's truly, truly fantastic. Rod and Cathy, do you all have anything else you'd like to add?
Think the only thing I would say is consistency is key. I know that you've touched on that, but consistency is really key. We've mentioned to people if you have a hard time remembering to put on the patch or take it off, set an alarm for whatever 8 in the morning and then another one for 8 in the evening, and just say patch on and patch off, and it'll just remind you to take it off and on so that you don't forget it, because that consistency is just so key.
Yes. And I do think I forgot to mention that. So thank you. So I put mine on in the morning when I get up. I take them off at night when I go to bed. The next day I put on a brand new patch. So yes, and consistency does make a huge difference for sure. Like anything in life, right? Anything that we do consistently will always yield positive results. Or I guess it could be the opposite too, right? Anything negative we consistently do will yield us negative results. So let's choose the positive. Let's choose the things that benefit us and benefit those around us. So yes, well, thank you all so much for being here tonight. Please make sure that you get back to the person who invited you to the call tonight. Tell them that you are ready to get started on this technology. Don't wait another day. If you need to do all your research like Cathy, then do it. Do 48 hours as fast as you can. And just know that you don't want to wait one more day to get started and see what this technology is going to do for you. So with that, we just pray blessing over each and every one of you. Good night, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki.
Good night.
Yes,
God bless.
absolutely. Good night. Thanks for being on.